Welcome to GreyPrimer.com. I'm Nick, I'm your host. Today we're going to be talking about Cool Mini or Nots. The others, be prepared or be consumed. Whoa! Okay, so let's get in there. The Others, a horror board game by Eric M. Lang. This is a wait. We've got branding here from Cool Mini or Not, Guillotine Games, and Studio McVey. Mike McVey, I'm not sure if he does it himself or whether it's a team that he has now, but the quality of his work now and in the past, it's just phenomenal. It's a name that always has stuck with me throughout all the years of being into the hobby. I've always thought of Mike McVey's work and Studio McVey's work as being of the highest possible quality. So let's just see what it actually looks like when we get in there. But art-wise, it is glorious, this cover. Just beautiful. The details on here. Just such a feel of like a last stand against horrendous odds. And a great logo here as well. Whoever did the artwork on that has outdone themselves with the big the eye on the others there too. And then we've all the bits and pieces on the back here. Breakdown of the contents. Really clear depiction of what the game looks like mid-play, and also clear indication of how many players, 2 to 5, 14 plus, taking 90 minutes or thereabouts. It's such a cracking looking game. It's such a brilliant idea as well. This sort of like special forces or whatever, these fantastic heroes versus this hellspawn and, you know, the last chance for humanity. And I just think that it's brilliant. It's brilliant as well that one player gets to play the evil, that it's not just an automated thing. It would make it easier for me if it was possible to make this a solo game. Maybe there are rules online. I haven't checked for making this a solo game. But I think as a group of people playing, having one do the sin is very neat. But yep, our darkest secrets have manifested. Our inner monsters now roam the streets. Let's see what the inner monsters look like. And get this opened up. A lovely sensation. Okay. So we have our rulebook. More fantastic art on the front of the rulebook. Oh yeah. So these aren't humans, I guess. Some of the survivors or heroes are... is this one of the... If this is a survivor, it looks very lycanthropic. Very much the werewolf sort of look to it there. This one looks like a demon. Maybe like a witch or something. And then more traditional sort of, I guess, special forces here and here. Interesting. Anyway, rulebook itself is like a magazine, sort of stapled here. Don't know if you can see the staple there, but not sure how well it'll last. If this was being played sort of on a daily basis, and this rulebook is being passed around a group of people, I'm not sure how well it would survive. Of course, I worked my way from the back. Some Clive Barker-esque art there. Ooh. Oh, that is all teeth and eye holes and yeah, no wonder he's got an infected gum there. Most of his face is his gums. And he's shiny eyeballs. Sort of a bit nurgle-y, a bit arachnid. Definitely more animal than it is human. Although that looks like a demon face in the end of one of these tentacles. Is that its actual head coming out of its mouth? On a tentacle? And its arms and... It just kind of makes its way along on these little spiky feet. Yeah, that is definitely not of this earth. Looks like similar art to the cover. I'd say that is the cover art. Again, very Nurgle Poxwalker-y sort of look to it there. Heroes and things. Whoa. That is going to cause you to have a few nightmares if you run into that thing in the real world. Okay, a little bit more Clive Barker-esque bondage and demonology. Bondage and demonology. A new book. I think that's a survivor, actually. And definitely with what look like tentacles coming out of her elbows. We are not talking about human survivors here. So that's an interesting element of this game, that it's not as simple as the last few humans versus the demons or whatever. And this, I guess, is this witch character. And the faith symbol here, faith stands for Federal Authority for the Interdiction of Transdimensional Horrors. Okay, which is, I guess, what this is, with its gummy face and infected everything. I'd like to be specific and say that one part of it's more infected looking than the other, but nope, all looks bad. Looks like a corrupted doctor. Brilliant. He's lost a leg, I think, to the infection. Okay, poor guy. He doesn't look too bothered by it. Looks pretty happy. He's like, hey, everything's great. Lost a leg. I can't ever say that my surgery is sterile now, but hey, everything is fantastic. And suspicious looking bulge on his back there as well. And just random limbs sticking out from underneath his tattered lab coat. And now we've finally reached the front of the rulebook, and we've got a breakdown of the contents, table of contents, and a few more survivor bits of art and stuff there. So yeah, nice. Now we're into the actual game components here. This is good and solid cardboard. We've got different tokens here for different game events. Look like storyboards, Rise of the Hell Club. And then, storyboard plus layout for that story. And then, I guess, rules and conditions there, and victory conditions and all that stuff. Like it. Oh, look at the mini. Oh my god. I said I would hold off on going straight to the minis, but I kind of want to look at this one before I do anything. Because this is a cracker. Man, oh man. So this is the avatar of the Sin of Pride. Wow. Mike McVey. You have absolutely outdone yourself here. Would you look at the detail on this? Oh, barnacles or something? Oh, that's brilliant. The tentacles around the feet as well. That it's kind of, it looks like it has regular feet, but it's not. It's just clusters of sort of, dense tentacles. And these whips here, actually, this is they're quite flexible. I mean, we're not talking Reaper here, but they have a bit of flex to them. I guess vinyl or something is in the mix with the plastic. I'm not really sure on the manufacturing side of things, but there's definitely a flexibility that tells me that this would survive a few drops on the floor. Which is brilliant, which is what you want from a game piece. You don't want it to be so fragile that it's gonna, bits of it are gonna snap off every couple of minutes when it's being played with. Oh, that's great. I hope you're seeing this detail. even the texture on these tentacles and things. And these are very like Triffid whips. The Triffid sting from the John Wyndham book, The Day of the Triffids. There were a couple of TV and I think movie adaptations of Day of the Triffids, and these look very suspiciously like Triffid stings. One of those is bad enough on an organism. Having a whole, I don't know, dozen or so here, that's a terrifying prospect. But listen, hopefully you can get the size of this thing. I mean, I don't have small hands, and that is filling up my hand there. Let's see if I can have something to compare it against. Oh yeah, so standard Vallejo paint pot, and then we have the Pride avatar beside it. So that gives you an idea of the scale we're talking here. So pretty cool. Yep, pop him out of the way. And we will take a break from looking at minis and look at these other components. Some cards here. Hellfire Club. Nice art on the back there. Dark Past cards, and I think it looks like the Sins cards are in there as well. So the different events for the Sins player. Dice for the Sins player. And dice for the Faith player, the hero players. Okay. And we'll just get these minis out of the way. And look at the last components. So these would be our dashboards, our apocalypse track, different game event, cards and boards to track your progress, and these are solidly made. You can see nice thick cardboard there. Built to last. Love it. And finally, for components, we have game tiles. Oh, really nice design in the back there. And then our corrupted hobo, corrupted doctor, and corrupted nun. So these are acolyte class Sins player or Sins characters. Pop this out of the way. Oh, actually, just noticed that on the side of that. Some really nice art there with what looked like sort of gooey tentacles coming over out of windows and stuff. Very neat. The art on this, the concept art, is truly lovely. Okay, so let's get into these minis. Have a look at this first box. These look like heroes. Something underneath there. Okay, so little colored rings for the bases, I guess, to say who's controlling what. That's fine. And we will use a little box there as our backdrop so we can see them in nice detail. Oh yeah, these are very nicely done. Hope you're seeing the detail there. Yeah, cool. I got a scope on this. Is this a shotgun? Yeah, it looks like a pump action there. Looks like it's scoped. Got a pistol there. Body armor. I just love it's not arrogance, it's just confidence. The sort of posture. I love that. Another one of our survivors here. Our heroes, I should say. Okay, and I got a... What was that, Techno Viking? Was that the guy? There's a very early YouTube video of like this guy at the front of a parade. I think that he was nicknamed Techno Viking. This guy reminds me of Techno Viking. But he's got a huge sort of cleaver, almost like an Auroch. Was it the Aurochs from Lord of the Rings? Kind of like one of their weapons. But not wearing much. Shorts, braces, topless. Not exactly tactically ready there, clothing wise, but looks like he's not to be messed with anyhow. That's that guy. Another one here with pistol and looks like a small submachine gun. Hopefully you're getting this detail. Look like a few mold lines to deal with. A little bit of flash, but generally not so bad. I like that they're color toned. You know, if you didn't want to paint them or something, they're pretty much ready to go for the game. And here's this sort of, I don't know why I think Scarlet Witch is nothing to do with that intellectual property, but I kind of get that vibe off it, like Scarlet Witch with a sword. But of course you could paint the dress any color you want. So then we have one of our more sort of special forces looking dudes. Looks like some kind of a futuristic assault rifle slung off to the side there. Some body armor, pockets and pouches, knee pads. See if we can see any detail on his face. Ooh, nicely detailed face. What? Okay. This guy with a chain and hook weapon. Oh, this is one of our non-human survivor looking dudes. Again, just you want to go to battle? Go battle topless. That's what these guys are saying. Which continues here. So this one has an excuse. This one has like, I'm not wearing any clothes. I'm a wolf right now. I was wearing clothes and I ripped out of them. Well, maybe that's why those other guys don't have clothes on. Maybe they have a transformed state. I love that you can see the detail on his fingernail there. Brilliant. Nice snarling face. Absolutely just. You're next, guy. Oh. Once I get into focus, you're next. If I ever get into focus. And he's standing on his weapon there. Oh, that's the same weapon as that other guy. Where's that guy? Yeah, are these the same? Is this like human and then werewolf form? Techno Viking turns into huge steroided up werewolf. I don't mind. Each to their own. And then we have the one with the tentacles coming out of her elbows. So probably looks a lot less harmless than she actually is. And again, let's see if we can pick up some detail on the face. Yeah, look at that super demon looking face. Be cool to have just sort of milky eyes for that one as well. I'll just get some plastic out of the way. And then we'll go into the big box. So in the big box we should have all of our sins. Oh, some more game components as well. So these are little hearts. Yeah, you can see them there. And what are these? Tentacles? Oh yeah, so tentacles. I wonder, are these like corruption markers or something? So maybe this is health or wounds or something, and then corruption. So let's have a look at these. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of work with focus. So it looks like everything is duplicated once. So we'll look at every other. Cool. Kind of reminds me of in Resident Evil 4, the video game, there were characters which you would, like, what were they, merchants or something? You would meet along the roadside. It kind of reminds me of that. Apart from the creepy little hand coming out from underneath her dress or robe or whatever it is. Sort of a shine off some of this plastic, which makes me think there might be release agents or something in them. They might need a bit of a wash before I try to prime them. Looks like a corrupted hobo. There's an accordion on his back. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant little touches where you just think everything is fine, and then you see the tentacles or whatever. Again here, everything looks fine, apart from the creepy arm and the tentacles coming out from underneath my robe. See if we can see if there's any detail on the face there. Maybe mutton chops or something? Not sure. Oh, very cool. It's our doctor friend, yeah. Oh man, the concept art and the actual finished minis are very close to each other. That's super impressive. Like, really impressive. This is a nun. I see the cross on the back there. That is remarkably close to the concept art. Huge level of respect for the team behind this. There's our guy with the doomsayer or whatever. The monster shouter, I think Stephen King would have called it in the stand. I love that there's these corrupted hands holding it as well as his own human hands. And it leaves you a lot of sort of space here for putting on your own message. The end is nigh. 2-for-1 offer on cosmetics, whatever you want to go with. I'm just not sure what of the 3 types this is. Hobo, nun, or doctor. Maybe there are other types as well, but guess it could be any of the 3. Same for this one, really. Could be any of the 3. Ooh, the peg leg. Let's see if we can pick up some more detail there. Boils in the faces and stuff. Apologies for the focus there. It just wasn't quite catching it. And then someone praying for... I don't know what they're praying for. I don't know who they're praying to. Because there's a lot of corruption here. Creepy little arms in the back. Oh god, tell me they turn into wings eventually. And tentacles there too. So, disturbing and wonderful. That first set. Let's have a look at the Hellfire Club first here. I'm not a big fan of the pinky red plastic, but the detail does still seem to be there. Yeah, you can still see the detail, but I'm not sure about that as much as I was about the others. Another one of these sort of, the Hellfire Club, very much sort of Clive Barker-esque creatures, like Hellraiser or Nightbreed, something like that. That's sort of the world underneath our world. World of excess and pain, pleasure and pain, that kind of thing. That's this evil twins or whatever they're called. And this bigger sort of Thrud the Demon Barbarian type. Yeah, something about the color of that plastic, it just doesn't do it for me. But hey, so let's look at, these are from Sloth or Sloth. These are the Abominations and the Sin of Sloth. See the difference? I mean, it's just the difference between the grey and the red plastic there. These are just so much easier to see the detail. Maybe when the red ones are primed up, we'll have a better idea of what they look like. Again, I'm skipping over every other one here because there are pairs of each sculpt here. Oh wow, this guy's really far along. He started to get those back things that the big avatar had at the start. I don't know what you could call them. Like, they're not boils because they're too uniform. They're just like, maybe for breathing or something, or maybe fumes come out of them or something, or goo. That might be something worth doing. Goo coming out the back. Little bit of flash there that'll need trimmed off, but so far it's been pretty good. Another one here. Like, high five. Don't leave me hanging. Tentacles, tentacles, tentacles. And creepy high fives. Oh, and these are, what are these? These are, sorry for hitting the camera there. These are controller figures. I'm not really sure what the role is, apart from, you know, what seems to be the obvious. So I guess this controls one of them, one of the sins. And then this controls the other one. Very sort of like deep sea fisherman Cthulhu-esque kind of deal here, reading from the book of "We're gonna eat you" or something. Maybe this guy started it all. He was deep sea diving and came back infected. So that was we went through the, let's see, that was Sloth. No, I apologize, that was Pride. So those were the 6 Pride Abominations. The first creature we looked at, which was this guy, that was the Pride Avatar. So that's why the back goo holes, or whatever we'll call these, are the same as they were on the Abominations. So we've seen the full team now of Pride. The Deep Sea one is the controller. The 6 Abominations, which are the upright dudes here with the tentacles. And then the big dude is the Avatar. So into Sloth now. We've already seen the Sloth controller, or Sloth. I don't know how to pronounce that. Or what the correct pronunciation of that is. So the controller of Sloth was this one here. Okay, just a regular looking kind of person. A little bit like one of the hobo characters. Like the one with the accordion on his back, but nothing really stand out about that. But I guess that doesn't really matter when the rest of your team looks like this. So these are the Abominations of Sloth. So there's 6 of these. And again, utterly masterful work. They have kind of slug look on the bottom of them. They kind of go along on this sort of, I guess, little goo sort of foot. Goo foot. Groovy sort of spike on the back there. They kind of make their way along with their knuckles in the ground as well. Very close again to the concept art. So there are 6 of these, 3 different sculpts. So I'll just skip to the next sculpt. And look at that, he's just like... So is his tongue part of this sort of foot? No, I think he's got this... sort of licking the floor as well as sort of slugging along, and he's got these little spikes here too. Great, fantastic detail on the hands there. Exposed spinal sort of vertebra. Charming. And let's have a look at the final one. It's just... you just imagine them sitting around having dinner at the end of a hard day, corrupting a planet. Just sitting around the table, mom and pop and the kids. I have no idea if this is mom, pop, or the kids, but wow, that would be entertaining. Bit of a gap there, so they'll need a little bit of careful filling. And you can see it sort of carries into inside the mouth, but that'll be blackened out. But quite a significant seam there coming across the front. So that one will take a little bit of work just to tidy it up, but not massively concerned. So this is the much smaller avatar of Sloth. You can see that the comparison here between the avatar of Pride and the avatar of Sloth. It's a good bit smaller, but I imagine this one packs quite a punch as well. A super creepy face. I hope that detail is coming across there. Oh. This one's not so spiky, but the other ones have kind of been putting holes in my fingers, by the way. I'm surprised they haven't drawn blood yet. Exposed spine. Interesting that these little details, like the exposed spine, carries across to the what are they called? The Abominations. Similar between Sloth and Wrath there. Sloth and Pride. Again, a few gaps, but probably nothing to worry about. That gap under the neck, I don't even think I'll bother trying to fix that, because it'll just be in shadow anyhow. This bio has the slug foot as well. A few fingers and spikes at the end of it, and these spikes the whole way around. So another beautiful sculpt from Mike McVey and Studio McVey. And that's it. That's the entirety of the others box. And the ones that I was struggling there to get focus on, the red minis, the blue ones at the beginning, that it's really interesting that the grey ones were so easy to focus on, no problem at all. But the other ones, yeah, curious. So it'll be something that I'll get them cleaned up, I'll get them primed and see if they're any easier to see the detail on them. But a little bit hard to pick up. That aside, just beautiful components, beautiful miniatures. I think an incredible first unboxing of a full board game. We've got Zombicide coming, a couple of versions of Zombicide. We've got Conquest coming. There's a high bar has been set by the others here today, and it'll be interesting to see. But anyway, thank you so much for staying with me for this very long unboxing. Many more to come, and I hope you got what you wanted from that, and hope to see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment below if you want to leave some suggestions of other things you'd like me to unbox or review. Take care now. Bye bye.